Revenge films.
My boyfriend and I have been together since college, and we were both intent on marrying. In the beginning, he was a regular customer at where I worked part-time, and I fell in love at first sight. With the help and support from my boss and fellow employees, I finally got the courage to ask him out. So it was about time we started to talk about introducing each other to our parents. On that day, I was visiting my boyfriend's place. Usually, we went out somewhere on our dates, so it had been a while since I last went to his place. Wow, this place is pretty tidy.
For real? I still think this is more on the dirty side, not gonna lie.
My room is far messier than this. We were talking this manner as we watched TV, but I happened to come across this photo album. Is this your photo album?
Huh? Yeah, it is.
Oh, mind if I take a peek?
No, I don't mind.
Let's see here. Aw, so cute! In the album were many photographs of him when he was a child, but my hands, shifting through the pages, suddenly stopped. Huh? What am I looking at? There, in front of my eyes, was a family picture of him, his mother, and his father, who strangely looked exactly like my own dad. Hey, is this your dad?
Yeah, he is. And that was before he and my mother got divorced.
At that instant, a horrifying thought sparked to life in my mind. Hey, I'm really sorry. I don't feel too well. I'm gonna head home. I practically ran out of his room as I said so. There's just no way! Why is his father my daddy? I started to panic, and I couldn't think straight anymore. He did mention he barely remembered anything from his childhood, but if he is my dad's child, then there was a possibility that he and I could be half-siblings. I told myself I must have seen wrong, since it was an old photograph, but my dad had one characteristic that perfectly matched his. One of his ring fingers is shorter because of a car accident. His father also had a shorter ring finger. Frankly, there's zero chance that two different people would wind up with exactly the same injury scar, not to mention the fact that he had my own dad's face. Even though I knew we could be siblings in a way, I thought my love for him would somehow change things. Time went on as I remained bluer than usual, and one of my coworkers noticed. What's the matter? You weren't telling your usual stories of you and your lovey-dovey. Did he cheat on you? I only wish he was just cheating. My coworker was shocked at what I muttered. Oh my goodness! Honey, what happened? Tell me everything! Once I heard those words, I couldn't hold in my emotions anymore. I burst into tears and shoved the truth in her face. Oh, wow! You mean the man you hope to marry could turn out to be your older brother? Yeah. Your initial words make much more sense now. Miss Addison tried her best to comfort me, kindly saying that nothing is the sound truth just yet, and that I should get to the bottom of this. I first decided to tell my father about all this. I confessed that I was thinking about getting married, and when I told Dad the name of whom I wanted to marry, he suddenly slapped me.
I won't allow this! Break up with him now!
How he acted pretty much confirmed my worst nightmare. So we really are siblings. I felt hopeless. Dad got furious with me and repeated over and over that I should break up with him. I didn't think there was any way I could marry him anymore, so I went to see him. But seeing his face, I couldn't help but get so emotional, and the tears kept on coming once again. I was a total wreck, and upon seeing me in this state, he tried to comfort me as he asked.
What's the matter?
I felt my chest imploding into an absolute abyss as I said, I'm telling you that we're siblings.
Wait, what? The hell do you mean?
Remember me looking through your photo album the other day? The guy in your family photo, that's my dad. You said you don't have any memories from your childhood, right? That was before my mom and dad got married. When I told Dad that you were my boyfriend, he got so angry and ordered me to break up with you. If that isn't proof related, I don't know what is. My boyfriend was stunned after hearing the whole story. He hung his head, but after a while, he said,
Let's hear what my mother has to say. I just can't let you go without hearing both of your stories.
So we decided to hear what his mother had to say together. It was my first time meeting his mother. She seemed so kind, and that made me almost cry all the more. As I told her about the whole situation, she wore a surprised face, but she listened in silence. Then my boyfriend said,
Look at this photo, Mom. Is that my dad?
He was your father, honey. Oh, what a cruel world. But she went on. He was only with us for such a short time. You were so young, you don't remember anything, do you, honey?
Huh?
We did get married, but it didn't last long, so we separated soon after.
You mean this isn't my real father?
No, it isn't. Your real father died to illness. He and I cried tears of happiness when she told us the truth. Oh, be honest here. Were you too concerned that you were actually siblings? Yes, if that were the case, we would have to break up, but our feelings couldn't cope with that. Neither of us could. Well, you can rest easy now. You two are complete strangers. I was so happy that she happily gave us her blessing to get married. But I couldn't understand why my father was so against it, so I asked him the truth. His answer was the most selfish one I'd ever heard.
I was his father, even if it was only for a year. To have him marry my own daughter, that's sickening!
Wait, that's it? I was so worried and hurt after what you said, Dad. We're in love after all.
That kind of love is polluted and disgusting! I forbid it!
If you had asked me to heed my father's words, I would spit in your face. I decided to ignore him. But he totally crossed the line when he got outraged over the fact that I wouldn't break up with my boyfriend.
This scumbag is trying to get married to his sister! He's a disgusting slimeball!
He was spreading false information without any proof. And he was spoiling my boyfriend's name. Obviously, I immediately went to protest. Stop spreading that stupid rumor, Dad. He's having such a hard time.
Huh. Since you two won't call it quits.
Of course we won't. We aren't even related, the two of us.
If you and that baboon tie the knot, that would mean I'd see the face of my ex again. Like hell I'm gonna let that happen.
I was fed up with him, trying to get everything to be a happily ever after only for himself. He went to where I worked and spread the same plague, psychologically backing me into a corner with no escape, trying his hardest to prevent us from marrying. But my coworkers had already heard everything about what was going on, so they weren't deterred. However, upon hearing that he was harassing me and her son, my boyfriend's mother flew into a rage and counteracted. She said, "You, who found another woman, soon married me to create an excuse to divorce me, have no right to meddle in their affair. What a disgrace to mankind." My boyfriend and I were shocked to hear those words, but perhaps the womanly spirit acted up. But my mother started to do a background check on her husband. Then it was found that my father was cheating on Mom.
No, this isn't what you think!
He tried making excuses, but evidence that rendered all of that useless started to arise. His partner in cheating was his superior's wife. Mom sent in all the evidence to where my father worked, and obviously the cat was out of the bag, and he was fired. Furthermore, his furious superior seems to have demanded a large sum of compensation, and Mom also went on to demand some of her own. Plus, the house he lived in was originally my grandmother's, on my mother's side, so he also lost his living quarters. I found out later on, but the real reason why he was so against me marrying my boyfriend was because he thought the fact he cheated on his ex would be leaked to the public if he had anything to do with my boyfriend. If something like that ever got out, then his cheating, note the present progressive tense, on his current wife would also become apparent. The irony was that my boyfriend's mother backlashed him for what he did and spilled everything. Later on, with both our mothers' warm blessings, we tied the knot without any problems. As for my father, who had lost his job and house, went back to his home, but it being a small town, the rumors spread quickly, and even his elderly parents looked down on him. He's apparently becoming a complete recluse at such an age.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.